Hello everyone, welcome back. Since starting this series, there have been a handful of guitars that I consider my holy grails of weirdness. Today, we're going to be checking out one of them. This computerized plastic 6-string stick of strangeness is totally out there, and I'm very excited to uncover all the vintage goodness it has to offer. But before we get into it, I'll quickly let you know that for this month only, I've got a limited holiday sale going on over at my course platform, samuraiguitartheory.com. If you use promo code HOLIDAY20 on the 2-course theory bundle, you will not only get both those courses for the normal price of one, but you will also get my brand new mini course, Pentatonic Mastery, thrown in for free. It's a good old 3-for-1 deal. In these courses, I teach the system that I use for making music from the ground up to significantly more advanced topics. They're professionally animated and contain interactive elements so that you can easily learn why music works the way it does. Again, use promo code HOLIDAY20 on the 2-course bundle and you'll get all 3 of my courses for the normal price of one over at samuraiguitartheory.com. There's gifting options available as well. I'll put up links in the description, but anyways, let's move on to the weirdness. Today's guitar, the Yamaha G10, was manufactured in the late 80s, and according to a Yamaha ad I found in an old magazine, this guitar allows guitarists to control the world. I wouldn't go that far, but it does allow us to access an endless wealth of sounds. To kick off this video, I'm just going to play it, show you what it can do. Everything you're about to hear was played using this guitar. So, as a self-proclaimed aficionado of weird guitars, I would say that this guitar has taken us to a whole new dimension. It's got 6 G strings, all tuned to an F sharp. I can control it with my mouth. It's shaped like a stick. It's not made of tone wood. It's plastic. We've transcended here. Before anything else, we need to talk about what even is going on with this. The guitar itself doesn't generate any noise. Alone, it would be more useful as a paddle than an instrument, and that's not saying much because it wouldn't make a very good paddle. To do anything of value with this, you need to pair it with 2 other components. The first is this big VCR looking thing. This is the Yamaha G10C, which takes the signal from this guitar and converts it to a digital computer code called MIDI. I looked up how this guitar works and it's actually fairly interesting. The pickup system is constantly sending an ultrasonic signal down the string. It analyzes the echo and can tell where your finger is. This tells the G10C unit what note you're going to play before you even play it. It has sensors that read bends or vibrato, as well as the velocity, allowing it to capture the small but important subtleties of guitar playing. So the G10C takes what I'm doing and turns that into MIDI, but this alone won't allow me to create the next great rock opera. I still need one more thing, my third device here, a tone generator. There are countless synthesizers on the market, and through them there are literally endless tonal options. Most of what I'm going to be doing today is through this guy, the Yamaha TX81Z, or TX81Z if you took the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm using this thing because it was made in the same era as the rest of the stuff that I've got here. Now, if you follow this channel for a bit, you might be thinking that this all sounds a little bit similar to the Casio DG20 that I demoed a number of months back. It's basically the same concept, except for that guitar is a toy compared to what this can do. Let's talk about some of those features. One of the oddest things about this guitar is that each string is an unwound G string tuned to an F sharp. I'm guessing that's just what works best for the pickups, but if you play it acoustically, it sounds absolutely horrible. Here's what Wonderwall would sound like. It actually sounds about the same as the last time I heard Wonderwall drunkenly strummed by my buddy Derek at a Christmas party last year. Now, the biggest draw to this is the wealth of sounds that you have at your disposal. Using the TX81Z, I can make my guitar sound like a jazz flute. Or say you're a guitarist and you always wished that you'd picked up the accordion instead, which I'm not sure has ever happened in the history of the world, but if it did, this system could make your dreams come true. There's even a setting for the bird watchers out there. It's called Bred, and it makes your guitar sound like... That would be the helicopter setting. And perhaps my favorite feature is that you can control your notes with not only a whammy bar, but also a breath controller like this one. Check it out. I think you get the idea. You heard my first example. With this alone, you can create an entire ensemble. I find the drum sounds to be pretty lackluster on this, but you can send your MIDI into the computer, allowing you to access an endless supply of sounds. I've got this queued up to control some drums. Check it out. So I mean, that's great, especially if you've always wanted to fire the drummer in your Prodigy cover band. Now, when I say there are an endless amount of sounds you can control with this thing, I'm not exaggerating. Watch me make a sample and then play it with my G10. And that brings me to the part of the video where I give you the official Sammy G review of this guitar. First of all, and I think I've said this about every guitar in this series, I like it because it challenges me to think in different ways. However, this technology is 32 years old, which presents a fair number of issues. First of all, accumulating this at a reasonable price took me over a year to do. It's not rare that you find these going for $2,000 on eBay. I was able to find this one for $650, and that's the lowest that I've ever seen. But then the headset controller was $150, and the synth was another $100, plus $100 for shipping from Japan. On that note, Japan has a different voltage system than Canada, so I had to buy a $30 converter for that. Putting this all together was about $1,000, and unless you get really lucky, you're not going to find it for less than that. Fortunately for me, everything works great, but if it doesn't, you're kind of just out of luck. For example, the cable that connects the guitar to the G10C is this weird 15-pin cable, which I think only existed for this unit. If you break it, you could contact Yamaha, but I'm pretty certain they haven't stocked this stuff for 25 years. You would likely just have to buy everything again. On another note, it's also quite deep with the parameters that you can control, which is great when you figure it out, but sometimes you accidentally hit something and then you end up spending an hour trying to figure out why everything you play is down an octave. You think you can just Google the problem? Good luck with that, amigo. There is very little information on specific issues for outdated, unpopular gear. As far as playability goes, the single note stuff is great, but as soon as you start doing chords, it gets quite messy. I suspect that I'll end up using this to write synth parts, as I don't play piano very well, and using this will allow me to get ideas down significantly faster. So would I recommend that you get one of these? Not unless it's dirt cheap. This was cutting edge stuff back in the 80s, but I've got to think that this technology has advanced a fair bit in the last 32 years. There are now a number of guitars on the market that do something quite similar, that are significantly less costly, and I imagine do what this does better. That's that. That's the Yamaha G10. To wrap this up, I'm going to play something that I think shows off what this guitar does best. And again, everything you hear was controlled by this guitar. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this installment in the series where I check out the world's weirdest guitars. Remember that for this month only, you can get all 3 of my courses for the normal price of 1 if you use promo code HOLIDAY20 on the 2-course bundle over at samuraiguitartheory.com. Thank you all for watching. If you want to get caught up in this series, hit that link up there. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for a wide range of musical content, and don't forget to ring that bell to get notifications. Until next time, I'm Samurai Guitarist, and I will see you again soon.